everybody. This is Rookie. My eye hurts a little bit. My eye's a little bit swollen, but let's do this. So hide your wife, hide your children, hide everybody, because I'm here looking to analyze this show. That's right, analyze this show. That was pretty bad, but you know what? I'll make up for it. So let's talk about Survivor Series, because I thought it was a cool show. I thought it was a good show. I waited to see all the other reviews I usually see on YouTube, see how they're talking about this show, how they're taking it. The first couple, we're just taking nope, this is just bad, this is just overall bad, this is really bad. And then there's a couple other ones that are going well, this was actually pretty awesome. So it's a mixed review of Survivor Series, and now it's my turn because you came here to see my reaction, my review of this. I thought it was a good show. Going into Survivor Series year after year, kind of expecting it's going to be a clusterfuck. It is what it is, Survivor Series. But this Survivor Series had about, what, 5 matches? 5 matches. 4 hour show, sorry, 3 hours and 30 minute show. It was a 4 hour show, pretty much supposed to be a 4 hour show. To me, it didn't feel like a 4 hour show because it wasn't jam-packed with so many matches. The first match that started off the nights, obviously, the women's 5-on-5, which I love the fact that they made the change and got rid of Nikki Bella. Because now it adds a little bit of story onto SmackDown, because now you're going to try to figure out, was it Carmella who attacked Nikki Bella, or was it Natalya taking it into her own hands just to be part of the team in Canada? You know, that's another thing they did in this Survivor Series. I noticed they were helping add little bits and little pieces to the story that they already have. And I think that was pretty cool for the Survivor Series. I know it's supposed to be a pay-per-view where things are supposed to topple and everything, but I think it was cool to add more and more to storylines here and there to progress them. That's what you gotta do sometimes. But the moments they had were pretty awesome. The women's matchup I thought was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good matchup. I thought the crowd, I don't know why, but the crowd really did bother me. At first they didn't bother me with the 10-10, but as the night progressed, it really did bother me. You know, come on, bro. It's okay. I know you paid your tickets to be there and whatnot, but it's just really annoying. Every count out, 10. It's like, dude. I think that was just fine when you beat the crowd right there. And then they were just kind of not really alive here and there for some matches. And I think there was a couple. I think every match had its positives to it. That's just my way of thinking. But back to the women's matchup, because I'm going off the script. Women's matchup. So Natalya ends up joining the team for the 5-on-5, and I'm happy. I'm loving it because I'm a Natalya fan. I love Natty when she does her stuff. And then obviously this match went according to everything that's supposed to go. The weak links were the weak links. Alicia Fox and Carmella bounced out like that. Charlotte did exactly what she was supposed to do. And she was supposed to use Bayley to get the win for the team, and she did it. And then she just turned on Bayley and kicked the crap out of Bayley, which was awesome, which is exactly what you're supposed to do as the captain, the queen of the team. And Charlotte was phenomenal here. I love the fact that Becky Lynch was the last one on Team SmackDown. I think that's exactly how you're supposed to do it. The champion is supposed to be the last one on the team, and not the first one or any one of those being eliminated like that. They should be the last one remaining. And they did a great job with that. I think the story that they told in the ring was pretty awesome. I think it was a good little show right there by the ladies, and I really did love some of the moments with Nia Jax. I think Nia Jax was really impressive. The double suplex, double clothesline, just everything she was doing was pretty cool. I think she did kind of mess up at one point, but you know what? Let's forget it because she was doing such a great job the whole night. I did see her, when Naomi tossed her to the outside and did the move from the top, I was like, if they don't eliminate her here, she's going to have to submit to Becky Lynch. That was just in my head. I was thinking she's going to have to submit to Becky Lynch because that's here. Shit, my eye, sorry. Either way, I thought it was a good matchup. You have Bayley taking care of business, and then Charlotte just saying, hell, I'm going to do what I got to do. So good matchup. The Raw team wins. I wasn't even mad about that one. I wasn't mad about that one at all. I was like, okay, but I was rooting for Team SmackDown all the way. Once they got rid of Nikki Bella, I was like, yes. Okay, let's move on to the Intercontinetal Championship matchup. Sami Zayn versus The Miz, which I for a second really was thinking, holy shit, the title's going to Raw. But I was thinking there's no reason to go to Raw. no purpose to it. What's it gonna do on Monday Night Raw, really? What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? You're gonna switch to Cruiserweight in the Intercontinetal Championship? No, I don't think that's what you're gonna. That's not what you're supposed to do. I thank God they didn't do that. God they didn't give the IC title to Raw. I would love to see Sami Zayn as a champion, as an Intercontinetal champion, but I'm glad that the Miz won his matchup. And the Miz is still the Intercontinetal champion. The title still stays on SmackDown. Honestly, I was rooting for Team SmackDown the whole night except for the Kalisto fight. I was rooting for Team SmackDown the whole time. It was a really good match. I thought, Miz always performed pretty well, and Sami Zayn always performed well. I thought both the guys did a great job. I think the crowd should have been more into it, in my opinion. But it's just my opinion right there. I thought it was a cool match. Zayn had a cool little spot with the backflip on the outside that he got on the Miz, and then he did that thing to Maurice, where you know how Maurice used to do that thing. He did it to her. It was pretty awesome. The finish was a little bit screwy. I think the finish was probably the only problem with the match. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I'm kind of figuring they're gonna try to do something stupid, like screw somebody over. That's the only way to get Sami Zayn to lose this one. And they did it, and I guess you can get away with it because it's the Miz and he's a heel, but yeah, that's probably the only bad part about that right there. Other than that, I thought it was a good matchup. I thought both guys were doing a good job. Alright, and then we got the tag, the 10 on 10, which I believe was going to be the biggest clusterfuck ever. But honestly, this was my favorite match of the night, not until we got to the 5 on 5. But this was my favorite tag team match. I know some people are like, what, the tag team match was just weak, which one wasn't that great. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. I did not expect to see Cesaro and Sheamus all the way into the end. The Usos, I really thought the Usos brought it. I really love the Usos as heels. I really do. This Uso team, I was rooting for the Usos. I never thought I would say that, but I was rooting for the Usos to beat Cesaro and Sheamus. I wanted Team SmackDown to win, not badly. I love Cesaro, but I wanted to see Team SmackDown get a win and go one-on-one, and then the final matchup could be the final decisive one. But the match starts with Fandango and being pretty much eliminated like that, tossing fashion tickets to everybody, which honestly I love that tag team. They're a great comedy use, Breeze and Fandango, and I think hopefully they get better treatment than they did tonight. They get eliminated first, and then a surprise elimination of the New Day. That one really got to me, but I think it was just very funny to see Xavier Woods on the outside screaming, "Wow!" I think it was good stuff there. And then you get to the 4 tag teams against each other, so then you get 8 on 8. I'm not sure if he knows where he is right now. I can't remember the order of the way they got eliminated. What I do remember is Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows did get eliminations here. They got, what, like 2 eliminations? They eliminated 2, so that's a good thing for them doing a tag team eliminated. I really did not want to see Enzo and Cass all the way to the end. I love Enzo more, but I don't like Cass that much. Just go ahead and, I don't know, go ahead and just kill me. But either way, after that, I was hoping to see Gallows and Anderson at the end, but it's okay. They didn't make it all the way to the end, but they did have a good showing. The American Alphas, can we just take a second to say how awesome Chad Gable was in this one, dude? This motherfucker was awesome. He got me off my seat. I was like, holy shit. He does the roll up and then gets a suplex, like bam, and then the jump to the outside. I thought this matchup had some moments where it was like, wow, people, this is good shit right here. And okay, whatever. Either way, I also love the Usos, what they did. Heath Slater, baby, he had his moment going on. That was awesome. Heath Slater had some moments here. Rhino with the gore. I think this tag team was it was a good matchup too. So it's another good matchup. For what it was for a 10 on 10, completely different than any other 10 on 10 I've seen. Because other 10 on 10s are just all fuck. Like what the fuck? This was just a demolition derby. I think demolition derbies are sometimes fun. That's exactly what it was. But in the end, Cesaro and Sheamus, they won. And I guess it's a good thing for Sheamus and Cesaro, because now they're going to start building their team up there. But at the end of the day, they were kind of like back at it, like chickens again, fighting like chickens. But the Usos, I think they were studs tonight. They were doing their thing. They made sure they kept Team SmackDown in it, and I think they are due for a title shot eventually. And I wouldn't mind seeing them as tag team champions, but because I don't think Slater and Rhino have done much as champions besides beating his kids. That was the best part. He's got kids. He's got kids. That's always the best part of it all. So that's just me. Either way, Team SmackDown is down 2-1 already the whole night. The Cruiserweight match comes up next, and I don't know what WWE really expects from this one. The Cruiserweights, I'm behind them 100%. Even when I saw them live, I was behind TJP. I was cheering TJP. But the crowd doesn't seem to be reacting to them. You know, they're always just sitting down, and they have to like literally kill themselves to do it. And Brian Kendrick, I like his character he's going, and I like the promo he did. He was like, you know, all these guys are gonna do all these moves for you just to get your attention, just to, you know, do this and that. But in the end, it's not gonna matter, because I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm still gonna win, because the way I win is with my mind. I use my mind to win, and I don't have to sacrifice my body like those guys. And I think he did a great job. I think Brian Kendrick is really kicking ass as a Cruiserweight champion, and I'm happy for him, because that dude's pretty good. And then Kalisto, on the other hand, Kalisto, honestly, I don't know. I want to like Kalisto because he's had some cool moments, and he's cool, but I didn't see the reason to why I should like him in this matchup. He's only been back for like, what, two weeks? And he only had one match, and he had a match where he got his ass kicked by Baron Corbin, and then he just, you know, had he not got his ass kicked by Baron Corbin, had he just destroyed Baron Corbin, then we could talk. But I just thought this was just a match. Just out of stipulation, the Cruiserweights will leave. But, yeah, it was in Kalisto had won this, that would have been a real waste of the championship, and I'm glad Brian Kendrick is still a champion. Another screwy finish with Baron Corbin at the end coming in to screw over Kalisto, and I guess, you know, Baron Corbin hates the Cruiserweights. Baron Corbin's out to kill the Cruiserweights. I'm glad that the Cruiserweights are not coming over to SmackDown. That's what Baron Corbin's doing, so we're gonna get Kalisto and Baron Corbin again, so that's another fun thing. Come on, SmackDown, get over here. Either way, that's that right there. And so next we have, I feel that should have been the main event, but I now understand why it's not the main event. I now understand why. The men's 5-on-5 matchup, which was almost an hour long, but I'm glad it was, because it was pretty awesome. I think it's been one of the best Survivor Series matches I've ever seen. I've been watching wrestling since I've been 98, 97, 96, 96. So about 20 years I've been watching wrestling as a little kid. It's not my favorite Survivor Series matchup. My favorite Survivor Series matchup will always be the Alliance. I don't care if you say it was a shitty storyline. That was my childhood, and I'm happy with it. It was one of my favorite Survivor Series matches. This matchup though, is going to be top 3. It was awesome. All the spots, all the moments you had, all the storylines, the Shield getting the one thing together and doing a triple powerbomb, which is what I was thinking. I was like, Dean Ambrose is going to have to turn on AJ Styles and Team SmackDown somehow, and I knew it. I even told my best friend. I told him last night. I told him Braun Strowman's going to go out because Shane McMahon's going to put him through a table. Just watch. And it happened. And I was like, yes. But I think the best part about it is James Ellsworth at the bottom holding his foot. Just holding his foot like, oh, you're not going in there. It's hilarious, too, because that's the guy, you know, that the Braun streak started against. And James Ellsworth, the no-chin miracle, pretty much beat Braun Strowman like that for Team SmackDown. So the mascot comes into full effect. And that's the way you get rid of Braun Strowman, which was awesome. It was awesome. That's all I gotta say. Alright. Who else was on Team SmackDown? Team SmackDown was composed of AJ, Dean Ambrose being the first one won by AJ Styles. You know, it happened, you know, AJ Styles made sure that he got eliminated, and he did make sure of that, which was beautiful because it set up a good reasoning to why Dean Ambrose would come back outside. Not only because, you know, he's rivals with AJ, no, because AJ just pretty much screwed him out of this matchup, and hey, gives him a reason to come back out, and for the Shield to do what they did. And people always say WWE does things for no reason. There's a reason right there, and you know, it's a beautiful thing right there that he did, and it was awesome. It was awesome to see that happen. Stories being progressed, that's another thing they did. And then you have Jericho and Owens getting eliminated by the list. A lot of people not happy with that, you know, think that's stupid, but, you know, I was thinking when I saw Kevin Owens with the list, I was like, doesn't that count? Because, you know, he's hitting my favorite wrestler, AJ Styles. He's hitting him with a foreign object. I'm like, a list counts as a foreign object. Logic, there it is. That's a foreign object, and when it's a foreign object, you know, people don't, you know, it's just logic finally being used, and people are upset about that. But, I love Kevin Owens too, dressed up as him for Halloween, but I think it's perfect right now. We're going to see where this goes with Jericho and Owens. This match did it made you want to watch Raw and SmackDown because of little moments here and there. And now you're going to want to watch to see what's going to happen here, what's going to happen there. And at the end of the day, that's what you should be doing in a pay-per-view. Make them come back and watch you again. You know, I know you want a full gratification, but those moments you'll get them, but you want to watch the show and see where they're going to go from here. And I think they did that. I think that WWE did that in this pay-per-view. And let's see. Okay, so Jericho and Owens eliminated. Shane McMahon, the man, I don't know how he keeps doing this to his body, and he just keeps going and going, but this man, full respect to that guy, dude. He is amazing he risks his body, he does all these crazy stuff, and he's still going. He suffered a hell of a spear, but it was more of the fall down that possibly gave him a real concussion, and that's kind of the scary part. You know, you never want to see someone get hurt like that, and I don't want to see Shane McMahon get hurt like that. Shane McMahon's a treasure to the world. But, you know, Roman hit him with the spear, and I was like, well, I bet you if there was anybody else, they'd get in trouble and they'd get buried so quick, but not Roman. Roman's not going to get buried for hurting the son of the chairman of the board. No. Roman's not going to get buried, and I hope, you know, I'm just saying, that's Kofi Kingston going to get to Randy Orton, I'm just saying. Either way, Roman got that, and now the Rollins and Roman Reigns, they started going against the 4-on-2, then get rid of Sheamus, the Zayn's gone. The Shield reunite, Ambrose comes back, and they reunite, put AJ Styles through a freaking table. I guess that's the only way to really get rid of AJ Styles without pissing everybody off. But AJ Styles eliminated because of Dean Ambrose and the Shield. And at this point, I'm like, fucking Roman Reigns is going to be the last man. And then, and I'm like, no, don't let it happen. I'm okay with Rollins winning it for Team Raw. I'm really at this point thinking, god damn it, Rollins and Reigns are going to win it for Team Raw. So Seth Rollins goes up for a frog splash. It looks like a frog splash to me on Bray Wyatt, who's on the floor. Randy Orton does his thing. Randy Orton comes out of nowhere. RKO out of nowhere. Hit him with the Orton, and that was a cool ass RKO. Seth Rollins really needs to stop flying around the ring when Randy Orton's around, because Randy Orton keeps dominating his ass for the RKOs. All I gotta say is Randy Orton Beast Night, MVP award to Randy Orton for Team SmackDown. Rollins eliminated. Now you got Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, and at this point I'm like, fucking Roman Reigns is gonna eliminate both Orton and Wyatt. What the really guys? And I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but I'm like, I know it's gonna happen. I know it. And as the match goes, you know, you got Bray Wyatt who's about to hit Sister Abigail on Roman. Roman gets out of it. Roman goes for the spear out of nowhere again. Randy Orton comes and he takes the spear for Bray Wyatt. That right there shows you commitment. So now you're wondering, is Randy Orton really fully invested in the Wyatts, or is he just trying to play games with them, or what the hell's going on here? Like, I don't really know what. I guess Randy really wants to be a Wyatt family member. And then Bray catches Roman off that spear, gets him in the Sister Abigail, and I was so happy. I was like, yes, Bray, this is a win for Bray. This is a win that Bray needed on a big pay-per-view. Get it, on a big match, too, in a big match and a big pay-per-view, and Bray Wyatt got the win for his Team SmackDown win. And I was like, yes, like that. You know, a lot of things happened in this matchup. It was almost an hour long, but it was a good matchup. It was fun. It was entertaining. Match of the night right there for me. I think it was just amazing. So, with that being said, I really did like that. I'd like to know your comments on that matchup. What did you guys think about that? Before we get to the main event, the Fantasy Warfare matchup. The matchup all caused because of this game that's playing right now on the screen. It was Bill Goldberg against the Beast, Brock Lesnar, and I don't know where I want to start with this, but it left me in a what the fuck kind of moment. I'm sorry about the F word, but what the fuck? I have to now see, I now have to watch Raw to see what Brock Lesnar does, because I don't think any of us have ever seen Brock Lesnar get demolished in a WWE ring like that. That's something different. That's not. You know, you always want something different. There you go. A lot of people don't like that, but it really, that is something different, and I really don't know where they're gonna go with it, but I'm watching. I'm gonna have to watch it. Bill Goldberg brushes off Brock Lesnar, and Brock's like, okay, whatever, I can still handle him. Bam, a fucking spear. A spear onto him, and you're like, holy shit. And you're like, no, this is still going to keep going. and another spear, and you're like, holy fuck, Brock. And he's looking and waiting for him, and he picks him up for the jackhammer, and he actually picks him up, and he drops him, bam! So either what happened was, there's something more to this, or it's just Bill Goldberg's shoulder, and they just didn't want to really test it or anything like that. But Goldberg wins. Goldberg destroys the man who conquered the streak, who conquered John Cena, and who almost murdered Randy Orton in that ring. Anything else I'm forgetting? Oh yeah, the man that beat CM Punk. Am I forgetting anything else? Am I forgetting anything else about Brock Lesnar that he's done since he's come back? Goldberg, who has not wrestled in 12 years, just destroyed Brock Lesnar, who's been on a wrecking path since he's come back. Been a WWE champion, and Goldberg destroys him. It's a risky move by the WWE, but it puts you in a holy shit, what is Brock Lesnar going to do next kind of situation. And I love it. You know, I'm a Brock Lesnar fan, but you do need to switch it up a little bit with Brock, and then get switched up with Brock, and that's a big switch up right there by letting him get his ass kicked. But that's what Brock Lesnar is. He's shocked. It's always a shock and always like, what the hell? And hopefully WWE capitalizes on this, but Survivor Series was awesome. I did not expect it to really get me off my feet. My 4 hours just passed by like that. Like SummerSlam, I felt like it was dragging on. It dragged on for all the matches. This show, I did not feel like it was dragging on. I did not fall asleep on it once. I fell asleep on TakeOver. That's right. I fell asleep during the Dusty Rhodes Classic match, the tag team one. I fell asleep on that match. But this whole show, I was watching it, and I just enjoyed the hell out of it. I give it an 8 out of 10. So that's me. That's my opinion about Survivor Series. Maybe you guys have a different one, because it's like a either you hate it or you love it. Either you say fuck WWE or oh, hell yeah. Either way, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great. 8 out of 10. That 5-on-5 matchup was cool. That was a cool 5-on-5, and then my what the hell moment. That's gonna keep you coming back to watch more WWE. They know how to get you, and I love it. Either way, guys, I'll see y'all later. Leave your comments and anything on the bottom below. Ooh, someone put a comment. Maybe I'll read it right now. That way I can at least comment to what you said, good sir. How do I want to broadcast my comments? How do I do that? You got to go to broadcast settings one, and then you hit the few comments, and then you look at what's up stories. So that was a while ago. Either way, leave comments on the bottom about what you thought about Survivor Series and what you liked and what you didn't like, or what you did not like at all. Either way, that's it for me. I'm Rookie. I came, I saw, I conquered. Nobody's wives, mostly just my right hand. See you guys later. Now, how do you close this? You go to broadcast settings and you hit close.